Hello, this is Ira. Today we're gonna take a look at valves 181001, but we're gonna move on and take a look at knowledge 4. In knowledge 4, we're gonna start looking at different types of valves and how will they work if they lost air, electric power. So we're gonna see what happened to them and we will have to try to figure it out this information just by looking at the drawings. So let's get started. So we're gonna have this spring-loaded air-operated valve. So it's gonna be this valve. So for this valve, so what happens on a loss of air pressure? Okay, so that's something interesting. So if we lost air here, we're not gonna be pushing down this spring, so we won't be able to open. So it's gonna just go and fully close. It's gonna fail fully close since we won't be able to push this down and open it. So on a loss of air pressure, it's gonna go fully closed. Same if we lose the solenoid, we're not gonna have this air supply. So the way that we're gonna fail is gonna be closed as well. Also, we have a reduction of air pressure, so we don't have this pressure here, right? Or we're starting reducing the air pressure. We're gonna go more close. We're gonna keep going close and close, going up. So if we take a look at a valve that is very, very similar, so there's differences here. Here, and this one goes here. This one goes like that, right? So there are some differences. So on this valve, on the loss of electric power, so since if I have air supply, the air supply will push this down and it will close my valve, right? If it's working normally, but since I don't have that, if I lose that air supply, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna go up because of this spring is gonna try to go up and it's gonna open. It's gonna fail in the open position on a loss of electrical power. So we just really need to take a look at what the spring is doing, right? The direction of this, like where is it going? Pay attention because in the exam you can get confused with these ones. So hydraulic operated valve. So the hydraulic operated valve is gonna be kind of like similar. Instead of air, we have oil, or we might have something else. So if we lose the hydraulic pressure, this is gonna go up, meaning that this valve is gonna go up, is gonna open, right? It's gonna be on the fully open position. The reason that we have this one here is just to get it down and seat it in here. Like here's where we are kind of like seating it here. So if we lose this one, it's gonna, all of this is gonna go up and we're gonna fail on the fully open position. On the MOVs, motor operated valve, on the loss of electrical power, the valve actuator on an MOV is gonna remain as is, right? Like it's electric, it's gonna fail as it's the position that it was at. If it was open, closed, throttle, it's gonna fail as is. So now we have this pneumatically operated valve, and we have two different ones. So this one is like the ones that I showed you before. We need to take a look at the direction of this ones. So in this valve, if we put air in, this will get the springs down And what's gonna happen is that this is gonna get closed if I put air. But if I don't put air, if I lose air, I'm gonna fail open. Similarly, we have this valve. We put air in, the springs go down, and we're gonna open. That's if we put air in it, right? Since we're not putting air in it, it fails closed. So we really need to take a look at these ones, like the directions. Now what happens? So we're gonna have examples where we have 4 air operated valves, and we have these 4 air operated valves. We need to take a look at each one of them. So we're gonna have this valve. So let's analyze them the same way. If I put air in, I'm gonna bring the springs like smaller. It's gonna bring the springs down. The spring's gonna be smaller. So that means that this one is gonna go up. So it means that if I put air, this one is gonna close. Right? So I need to be doing something into this to close it. So this one, if I put air in, I'm reducing this one, the spring, and this one will move up here. It will go open, right? It will allow me to open the valve if I put air in. But since I'm not doing that, this one, no air. Sometimes when there's no air, we can say that we can show them in their failed position. So this one is shown in its failed position, right? So now let's analyze this other one. This other one, if we put the air on this other side, we're gonna make the spring smaller. So that means that we're gonna move up this one and it's gonna move, so we're gonna allow some flow, right? So we are allowing some flow in this one if we put it air in. Since we don't have any air in this one, so this one is shown in its failed position or no air position. Also, something interesting about this one we have the force of the spring on it, acting on it, and we have just, the pressure of our system. So this one is gonna close down with more pressure. Is the one that is gonna be closed with the most pressure or the most force. And let's take a look at this last one. This one, we get air in, we get this smaller, we get this up, so it's gonna close when we put air in it. So, and I think that's it. That's all I have for knowledge 4. Thank you.